Can you
That's
do me a
colored.
favor?
Sorry.
Can you do me a favor? I'm a little color blind, so sometimes when you talk about colors, I'm a little like lost. So can you use the cursor to kind of like draw the arrow to show me like, oh, okay, this like
Yes. So
yes,
look,
okay,
this is colored. This is colored. This is
okay,
colored. See, you have lines like this that are colored, even though
okay,
this center is not colored, but you have lines on it that are colored.
okay,
And these centers are colored in, okay? So everything that's colored in is who you are. And everything that's white, you have four centers white. Yeah, this the head here, this ego, the sacral, and the spleen. Everything that's white is what we're here to learn. That's how human design works.
got it.
Now, we can't make money with our what's colored in, with the centers that are colored in, because this is consistent energy. And money is an energy exchange. So if you have consistent energy in this area, regardless what you give or take, it's going to be consistent. It's going to recalibrate inside you and stay consistent. But here in the open ones, you can actually create a minus and a plus of energy, because this is where you take in energy. This is where you receive energy. And money being energy, this is where you receive money from.
Okay,
Now, this is why I usually tell people based on who they are, how they should speak, how they should introduce themselves, how they should wait for an invitation, how they should wait to be recognized, just like I told you so far. But then for the messages you put out, for the way in which you're attracting clients, for the way in which you're attracting people, we're looking at what's not defined. We're looking at what's open. And now, should I start, because hearing you, what you do and what you want, I can absolutely say which center is doing that. Should I start with the obvious or with the least obvious?
you can start anywhere you want. I'm listening.
All right, so let's start with the obvious. Oh, the chair went down. So the obvious is you have a completely open head. This is in terms of chakras. This is the crown chakra. All right, and it's completely open. Now, the interesting thing you can see about the crown chakra or the head center in human design is that it's partly out of the chart. All right, for everyone, but it's partly out of the chart because this is how we connect with, let's say, the realm of information, with the general place where we all capture ideas, inspiration, and all of that. Yours being completely open puts you in a huge advantage of receiving inspiration, of receiving information. I will be completely blunt and tell you, you can actually read people's thoughts.
Yes, I can.
Uh,
Yes.
you can actually read people's thoughts. This presents itself in two ways. One, that is useful. Like I said, you can channel information, you can receive inspiration from different sources, you can uh, what can I say? The greatest people in history, Einstein, Carl Jung, Freud, all of them had completely open heads. The kind of inspiration that's necessary for writing something changing requires an open mind. I mean, it literally, even when we say the term open mind, it's a mind that thinks outside of the box. So it needs to get out of the paradigm that we're all working on to write something different. This is what they all had. This is how they were able to see that. You have a completely open mind, so you have access to all of that. Now, the downside is because it's completely open, you don't get to choose. What do I mean by this? I make fun of people with open head that they're thinking about things that don't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't get to choose the thoughts that come to you. Everything comes to you because you're completely open. I make also fun that open heads go to the shop with a clear list in hand. I need this and this and this and this for home. And they get there and they get flooded with all the ideas of everybody in the shop, what they need to buy. And they suddenly start thinking, oh, I should be cooking this. Oh, I could be cooking this. Oh, I can also buy this and this and this, and they think it's theirs, but it's everybody else in the shop thinking what they need for home, and you're being impacted by it.
Yeah. But I
And
like
some
that.
and sometimes open heads will go home with a completely different basket than they planned. Like they change the whole meal plan for the week on the spot in the shop with no ideas of their own.
I love cooking and I cook without a menu, without a recipe. I just cook with my intuition.
Probably like that, right?
Yes.
Probably you just go in the shop, you buy this and that and that and that, and when you get home, you invent something because those are the ingredients you bought.
And I love it. I love that. I love that. Yeah.
So the only gate that's pointing towards the head, so your only clear message is the um, gate 4. It's in the now, which you have defined, but it's pointing towards the head. So that's a message that you can use to attract people that will, define the head, and they will feel like it will feel like it's still you.
Okay.
Now, this is the energy that says it's the youthful look. It's the youthful folly. So it's the fool in the tarot cards, let's say. The Fool in the Tarot cards is the new beginning. The person who steps into the unknown without fear is the person who is willing to try. That's the youthful folly. And what is mostly specific about this is the fact that it moves forward without doubt. It overrides doubt because the 63 on the other side, the gate that is trying to attract, is the gate of doubt. And this is the gate that's supposed to override doubt. It's supposed to say, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see when we get there. I'm not going to worry about this. Now I'm going to, it's success despite ignorance. Even if I don't know how it's all going to go, I'm going to go through it because I'm going to learn through it. I'm going to learn by doing it. I'm going to see how it works. Now, this is in your personality earth, which, because it's in your personality earth, is what grounds you. So you work best, exactly like you said. That's why I said I start with the obvious. You work best when you go into the unknown and figure it out. Your dream about going to a different country is literally this. Different countries is literally this, stepping into the unknown and following what comes. This is what grounds you, and this is what you feel like it's the safest thing for you to do. The earth on both sides is what feels safe for us. Uh, I'm gonna get into the sun as well because that's purpose, but the earth is what feels safe.
Got it.
Uh, Now you can write anything. You said I can write great articles, I can write books, I can write anything. You have to imagine that 70% of all literature ever written on this globe, ever written in history, has been written by open heads. 60% of the population has an open head, and everybody writing has an open head. I don't have an open head. I wrote a book about my own program, but I absolutely hate it. And I actually posted at some point on Facebook that I need an open head person to help me with my book because it doesn't sound like a book. It sounds like instructions.
Okay. You write a recipe. Uh, Interesting. So you're saying that what I should speak about is I should just just jump in and then speak about new beginnings for people, right?
Yes.
I help people to find new beginnings.
And you can also make people feel comfortable without. This is something that you are comfortable with and maybe don't even realize it, that you're comfortable with not knowing fully. And you can make people feel comfortable without. So something like, I want to do this, but I don't know if it's going to work. And you'd be like, well, how would you know if you don't try?
Okay, I like it.
And this was the most obvious part when you were talking even about what you're doing and everything. And now I'm going to go into the coaching and the guiding part because you have the explicit design of a coach. So the second part that is an obvious design of a coach is the ego here. This is not completely open. You can see you have two gates on it. A gate 51 that I'm pointing right now, and gate 26, which is this one, which is on red. So these two are still your voices of the ego. Now, let me tell you what's the ego about. Now, the ego in normal seven chakra system doesn't exist, but you can imagine the ego and the G center as one, and together they would form the heart chakra. This is identity and this is willpower. The the G center, which you have defined, is identity. I'll discuss about that also, but now we're focusing on how to make money and your business. And this is the ego center, which is willpower. Now you don't have it defined, which means you don't catalyze your own willpower. Somebody has to invite you. So somebody recognizes that, for example, an article of yours was very good and they come with you that they have a similar problem to one of your articles and one of your posts. And when they invite you, that's when you step in. That's when you get willpower. You don't get, you will get very hard to start a program and launch it on your own. If somebody invites you to it, it's there. You don't even have to create it. You already know. You've already created it in some sort of way. Because you have the knowledge, you have the expertise, it comes on autopilot. But if you are meant to sit in a void alone in your room and push something out, you're going to get bored and you're going to feel like it's not working, like because there's no feedback. And also the ego center shows someone who's trying to prove themselves. You have to realize first and foremost that there's nothing to prove. Most these people with an open ego center overwork because they think that if I work more, people are going to see me. If I push harder, people are going to recognize this. But it works the opposite way. What you are actually extremely good at, and why I said that this is a design of a coach, is you are extremely good at seeing value in other. I'm not saying other people specifically, even though that's true. I mean seeing value in everything.
Yes.
In an ideal world, people with an open ego would set the prices in an ideal world because they would know the value of something. These are people who are very hard to be scammed. I mean, even when they are scammed, they know that they're scammed and they're doing it to get to get into the well meaning of the other person. I know you're lying, but fine, let's go with it because I want to see where you're going with it.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
And this is the best thing for a coach because it literally means not only that when you go to a supermarket, you can see that this offer is not really an offer, this is a scam. Yeah, that's one thing that the open ego can help you. But the other thing as a coach that it can help you is you see people's potential. You see where they could be. You see their value in them that they might not see themselves. where they might discredit themselves. You see their real value, and you see if somebody is doing something that, oh my gosh, you're definitely not good at this, you should be stop doing this, and why don't you do the other thing? It's so obvious you're good at it and you're enjoying it. You're talking only about that, and you're doing something completely opposite, you know. For you, this is going to scream, you know, when somebody is doing something that doesn't show their value or actually puts them in a bad position. For you, it's going to be so painfully obvious that it's going to be weird that others don't see
uh,
it. And that's a very good value for a coach. Why? Because that's what a coach is supposed to do, right? Set uh, a point in the future, right, where the coaching person is supposed to get, and take them there, right? Create a journey for them to get from point A to point B. But
yes.
exactly like I said, in order for you to do that, first you have to use your receptiveness. You have to get where the person is. Because if a person comes to you and tells you, I don't know, I need help to get my business working, I don't know, and I'm doing this. And as you get to know them, you realize, man, you're completely horrible at this business you're trying to push at, but you'd be so good at the other one. For you, that would be a waste of time because you've already spent time with them trying to get them to work towards what they said they want. And in the middle of the process, you realize that it won't work and you have to change gears. And for you, that's one, it can catalyze bitterness as a projector because
Mm,
you're like, this is not working. And second, it might also create a sensation that you're going back and forth. For you, it's important to get the other person to know first. It's very important to receive them fully, to see their potential, to give yourself a time to know the person. Uh, that's gonna make you crystal clear of their potential and where you can take them. Now, the two energies that you have defined, your voice in this. The voice in this is 51, which is the ability to respond to shock. This is the whole channel is the channel of shock, and you have the ability to respond clearly to shock. It
hmm.
it usually means that one, you either respond to shocking things in your life very casually, or the other thing that might imply, because it's hanging, because it doesn't have the 25 on the other side, and because this is and open, it might mean that you're shocking other people, that you change their perspective through shock. You
Uh,
you don't necessarily change their perspective little by little. You change their perspective through shock, and they might actually resist it at some point. And you should, from my point of view, you should probably keep this in mind that they might resist the shock. I will give you an example from my own. I'm also doing readings and I'm doing coaching with alchemy. And when I do, and when I work with alchemy, for example, for me, one is very hard to market alchemy because alchemy promises death, and that is not very commercial. The death of the old self and rebirth into a new person. So I am perfectly aware that around the third session, my clients will hate me because by the time around we are at the third session of coaching, what happens is their whole world is already unraveled and they are already starting to have issues at work. It starts to get physical, it starts to get real. And that's around the time where my clients start hating me. And I've noticed this with every client I have. Around that time, between the third and the fourth session, they will tell me they will postpone the sessions. Can we meet next week? I don't have time for this. I don't want the. So I have to read that. I have to read that's part of it. That's part of my program. Their discomfort is part of the program. And that's where I need to step in. I either offer them a half an hour free, okay, I hear you, you don't have time, let's just talk, let's just arrange things, let's just calm the waters. Or I message them on WhatsApp and again try to see where they're at, because that's the risk when we're working with the ego and with that part, is that they will flee, they will drop out, because people have usually low tolerance for discomfort. And gate 51 that you have is literally meant to push them through discomfort. The obstacle is the way.
Yes, yes. My transformation in my life is always because I sat with my discomfort long enough for me to go, ping, I get the breakthrough. Um, and many people are just like, nah, I don't like that. But I can sit with the discomfort very well.
That's the only creative part, and that's where you're guiding people, both with the force that I discussed before, the youthful folly that is comfortable without. What you're just saying is comfortable with not knowing. Until you go being, you don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
it's comfortable without, and this one is comfortable with shock. It's comfortable with discomfort. When something shocking happens in somebody's life, usually they go on autopilot. That's what it usually happens. They go unconscious and they solve the issue the same way that they solved other issues in the past, and nothing changes. Even though it was a shocking or traumatic experience, the only nothing actually changes in their life. While if they were conscious and they would sit in that discomfort, in that tension, and say, okay, what is it here? What's actually happening here? Like you said, it goes bing. This is the creativity, you know. Creativity is sitting with the tension until the something pops up from that tension. Tension seeks resolution, but if we resolve it because we are uncomfortable with the tension, the resolution, the solution never actually comes.
Mm.
So you are meant to guide people through exactly this, but you have to keep in mind and have a let's say contingency plan that they might not feel comfortable with it, that they might pull back, and have a contingency plan of how to. I'm getting to the next one now. The next gate, also connected to the same chart, is the 26, which is the trickster. I assimilate the 26 with Loki from the Norse gods, who's the trickster god who would do anything to get his way through a trick. Right now, the trickster, the energy of the 26 is the only gate, literally, the only gate in the whole chart that will lie for their advantage. So, how does the trickster work? Because this is a tribal gate, so it works in support, and this is also the selling gate. This is the way in which you sell most. This is the gate that I will be completely honest. If you were to go in the human design community, you would be hunted. Why I say hunted? Because there's a lot of people in human design community that don't know how to sell their services, because it's quite hard, and it's quite on one side is niche, not many people know about it, and on the other side, within our community, within the community of human design, we're all coaches, so we can't sell to each other. And the 26 is very looked for, because the 26 is the person who is going out of the tribe and selling to strangers. How does it sell? It doesn't sell through commercials, it doesn't sell through hyping the things up, it sells through trying. All right, I get you, I trick you into trying something, just one thing, and just one person. And if that person likes it, that person will tell to others, and suddenly I'm selling.
Mm.
I give something, I try something with one person, I'm giving that something either for free or for cheap, or it's a friend or whatever it works, however the trick works, because the 26 doesn't care. That's the way it's a trickster. It doesn't care if it has to lie its way in, it doesn't care if it has to mimic his way in. It cares that it gets the result. As long as that person sees what I'm capable to deliver and tells to others that I'm capable to deliver this, it's done. That's what I have to do. And this gate might also help you to maintain the client. So this might actually tame down the 51. In what way? In the way that you might have to find a way to bring them back. So the trick might follow the shock. You shock them first and you trick them later into following their path. How I would see it is sell them what they want, give them what they need.
Okay, got it, got it, got it. I think to me it's about experience engineering. It's about how to engineer an experience for them to fall to trip over their own truth.
Yes, yes, that's perfectly said. Now I'm moving towards the one that's most interesting. It's the spleen. I find it most interesting because it's open, but it's lit like a Christmas tree. Like you have
Means
five.
where?
This one, you hear it here. It's white, the
I'm not seeing
center.
the share. I'm not seeing the share screen.
You're not. Ah, you're seeing me. All right. Let me
Yeah.
share the chart again. The application window. All right. So it's this one right here. Okay. It's white, so it's undefined, so it's open. It's a way of you to make money, but it's lit up like a Christmas tree. You have so many gates on it. So you have the 18, the 28, the 32, the 57, and the 48, all there, all your voices on a channel that attracts energy. So this is where you're speaking most. Now, the spleen is the intuition center. And with so many gates hanging on it, it means that your intuition is not coming in the same predictable way all the time. Your intuition might come different every time. Your biggest challenge in life probably would have been, sorry, to listen to this intuition, to trust it.
Yes. Yes.
Because because it's inconsistent, it would kind of show up like this. It would kind of show up from where do I know this thing? It's impossible for me to know this thing. How do I know this? That's how it will show up to a rational mind because you would know things, you would sense things, you would know things about the other, you would be able to read things that the other person did not say. How do I know this? It doesn't make logical sense that I do, but I do. It's clear that I know.
Ah,
Now, this gate specifically, this uh,
spleen.
the spleen sells mostly uh, safety. It mostly sells safety in the sense that this is the intuition center and also the survival center. And it wants to sell ease. It wants to sell why do you suffer? Why stop suffering? Stop doing this to yourself. Why are you doing this to yourself? And it sells awareness in a way of, for example, how their choices brought them there. It sells that kind of awareness. I can see how you got here. Now let's move in a different direction. And also, the spleen is the center of fears. You have a lot of fears. The only just give me a second. I have to bring myself a notebook for the spleen, because the only fear I can tell you up front that I see here is the fear of death, which is conscience, and the fear of lack of purpose, which is unconscious. So the fear of death is literally fearing that something bad will happen, and the fear of lack of purpose is also kind of related to the fear of death, is a feeling of a fear of dying without fulfilling your purpose. Like, I have a bigger thing to do here than this.
Yes.
One second. Okay, my note. Now, this is exactly like I told you, this is making them aware about things that they are holding on to that are bad for them. It can be habits, it can be jobs, it can be actual things, it can be anything. It's you seeing and being fully aware that they're holding on to a habit, that they keep doing something that is actually bad for them. The thing that it sells most is well-being. This is again coaching, motivational speaking. This is all that enters there. I also have an open spleen, so I relate to this exactly. This is what I sell as well.
Mm.
Sacral, G-center, throat. Where's the spleen? Spleen. All right. So we have the 28, like I told you, the lack of fear of purpose. And this is a social thing, and it's selling purpose. Do you? The message it's trying to sell with is: do you feel lost in life? Try an adventure.
Yes.
This is the selling message of the 28. Then you have 18. 18, you have it twice because you have it conscious and unconscious. You have it in Jupiter and in Jupiter. So it's your expansion point. It's what helps you grow. Jupiter is all about expanding. It's what you would help you, let's say, scale up. And it's the fear of authority. And it's challenging authority, challenging the status quo. Just because it's been done like this for years doesn't mean we have to continue doing it. We can try a different way. Uh, it's also helping people, telling them what not to hold on to. And it also says you have to give this up completely. This gate says you have to stop this completely. You have to stop this habit. You have to stop doing this. You have to stop believing this completely. Now, this gate is also a preacher. This gate is the gate that functions best in public speaking. It's best heard in public things. It's best heard when it's preaching, and also it's entirely in its energy to sound a bit fanatic about it.
Oh, okay.
The more, and because it's a gate of enthusiasm, it's the gate of correction, and the gate of the other side, the 58, that is trying to it's the joyful. So this gate, imagine they connect together, the joyful and the corrector. All right. The correction is this one, the 18. The 18 says you'd be so much better if just you would change this one thing. You have to give this one thing up completely, but your whole thing would be so much better. So this is the message that gets people attracted to you, that you have a one thing that they can change, a one thing that they can give up, a one thing that completely changes their life. The point of the whole planning center is to make people feel good of the idea of letting go of something.
Mm.
That's why in public speaking, in motivational speaking, usually it starts with a pain point and it goes into almost fanatic good position. That's what motivational speaking goes towards, right? It starts with a problem, and the problem is not overemphasized. The problem is the starting point. What's overemphasized is the what comes after the result, how much better things will be after the result. This is the spleen doing it. The motivational speakers we see online, this is what they're using. Now, gate 32, you also have it. I'm taking them in random order, but all the
Yeah.
gates you have here. Uh, the gate 32 is similar to your ego center because it assesses value in people. It recognizes talent, and it recognizes also failure. It recognizes when somebody is on a path that will definitely fail because you might recognize their talent going into a completely different direction. And this is a gate that's specific, like you said, that something bores you. This is a gate that's literally lacks continuity. This is a gate that's supposed to disrupt continuity. Why do you keep doing it that way if you see it doesn't work? It's supposed to disrupt continuity. You've been doing the same thing for 20 years. Do you think that if you keep doing it for another 20, something will change? That's the disruption that this gate wants to bring. It's supposed to help people get over the fear of failure. If you continue the same way you've been doing for 20 years, you're going to continue getting the same results. You don't want to do something different because you're afraid of failure. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you overcome your fear of failure. I'm here to tell you that failing is a learning point. It's not the end of the world. You can fail and keep moving. Uh,
Mm.
Also, this gate also tells people that failure is guaranteed, but it's not an ending point. Failure is a point of the game. Failure is guaranteed. You're gonna fail the first time, but that's when you know what works and what doesn't. That's where you grow. That's where you sit with your discomfort, exactly like you said. And this gate also offers clear distinction between the life lived and the potential. If you don't change, you die. Basically,
Mm.
that's the, let's say, the message, the catchy message. If you don't change, you die. This is usually used in a lot in motivational speaking, used for people to quit drugs, to quit smoking, to quit something for good. It's really pushing the envelope. This gate, that's what it looks for, to really push things into. It's really serious. Now you have to stop. Now, then we have gate 48 here. This is conscience for you, and it's in. I I have to move it back. I have to move it from business off because I can't read the signs here. Okay, so it's in Jupiter. All right. So it's also expansion, but this is conscious expansion. This is about doing. This is about taking action. And the gate of this, the message of this gate is quite interesting, is you don't have to be smart to do business.
Mm.
You will notice probably in your life that you studied a lot, you know a lot of things, you are very well versed, and you know what the topic you're talking about. And somebody comes along, they've read two books, and they quoting those same two books over and over again, and they suddenly get successful, and it's like they don't even know shit. I mean, how did they get so successful? This is that gate. You have it. You don't have to be smart to do business. By not being deep, you can create a simple message that resonates with most. So this gate is suggesting to you to stay on the surface. And how this
Ooh.
gate and how this gate sells is somebody says, I want blah blah blah. I want success in blah blah blah. And you say, I've got a way to move you past failure. I've got it. How much? That's it. It's the simple, most simple business negotiation. I want, I have, that's it.
So the key is to not over explain things.
Yes, yes. Exactly like I told you, even about the ego, it's about giving them what they want, selling them what they want, and giving them what they need. If your process takes them through something else between that, don't clarify too much how their process might take you there. Don't clarify that it's a long road, that it's blah, blah, blah. You want this? Yeah, sure, I get it to you. How? We're going to see. You'll see when you get there.
Okay. Thank you. This is very helpful. This is a big change for me. Great.
The biggest problem of this gate is that it usually undervalues itself. This is the gate of depth. So you are naturally very deep. This is the well. So the well is deep. You are naturally very deep, and you might have a tendency to over explain it because for you, surface things might be boring. You might
Yes.
find it extremely boring to have small talk.
Oh,
And it's and it's very hard for you to understand that the selling happens on the surface. What you get them through the process and the depth, they will have to witness it afterwards. The selling happens on the surface. This gate literally says being smart gets in the way of your success.
oh, okay. I see it now. I see the light.
Because people get overwhelmed with how much they don't want to know at the beginning how hard the road will be, because then they won't want to go on it. You have to trick them to tell them that it's very easy, that it's very doable. You have the 26 to trick them, and then you'll get them in the depth once they already signed up.
ah, okay, okay, okay. This is really good. This is awesome. This is really a shifting something in me right now. Yeah.
Now, you also have that C57, which is unconscious. And let me see in what planet it is. Oh, it's in Venus. Okay, so it's your values. This is what you stick to. The 57 is the most intuitive gate of all. It's literally power of knowing. All right, it has the power to know things in the present moment. In the present moment, you can read the present moment. You can read the room, you can read the person. This is the kind of gate that makes you cross the street without even knowing why you cross the street, and 5 meters ahead somebody throws a bucket of water and you're like, I avoided that. You couldn't have known that that would happen. You cross the street instinctively, but that happens. This is 57. 57 is the power to observe details in the now that others don't see. You might observe how somebody, I don't know, flicks their fingers in a meeting and you realize that they're anxious. You might notice details like this, not even consciously, because it's an unconscious gate. It happens unconsciously for you. So you might not consciously notice that they're flickering their fingers, but you might know that that person is anxious. You don't know how to explain, but you read the signals. Now, this is also, in business terms speaking, this is the gate that clarity eliminates doubt. All right. And this gate sells best through testimonials. You weave the road, you pave the road, you create the road, and people go through it without knowing that you waved it. Like I said before, you sell them the surface, you sell them the entry point. The gate towards the journey is beautiful, it's decorated, it's fancy, it's the gate, that's how it looks like. The road, it's hard and ups and downs and bumps and falls. They don't see that.
Uh,
They don't see that. That's behind the gate. You sell the gate. The gate looks pretty and has success written all over it.
got it.
Give clarity takes you to success. Giving clarity takes you to success. Now, these are the messages from this. And then we have the last open center, the last way in which you make money, which is the one I discussed least ever in my life because I work with generators a lot. 70% of the globe is generators. And it's the sacral. All generators have the sacral defined, which is an engine, literally. It's a motor. And when generators are doing something they like, something they enjoy, they never finish. Literally never finish. They can go on forever because it's like a car engine that's being oiled, that's being given the right fuel, and they can keep going. But when they do something that they don't like, you have to imagine. I'm explaining to you also the generators because that's what who you'll be working with most. When they're doing something they don't like, it's literally like you're feeding a petrol car diesel. They start coughing, they don't work, the engine stops midway, and they're exhausted, they're burned out, they can't function. This is generator world. This is how they work. When they're doing something that they like, they can keep on doing it. When they're doing something they don't like, they stop. Now, the issue with this is it's very hard to get a generator to do something they don't like. Like you just said, it's very hard to get people to sit with attention. They will automatically want to pull out. And the way in which you present to a generator something that they don't like is by mixing it with something that they like. And also, it's what the sacral center wants to sell, also similar to what you want to sell till now, it's stop. And you want to deliver the message to the generators, something similar to you're the only holy people. You're the only people who are here to actually work hard. You're the only one who can do this. If you sell your client, you're the only one who can do this. You're the perfect person for this career that you're going to. You're the one. It, it empowers them and it makes them go through obstacles that they wouldn't want to go otherwise because that's how their center is built in with excitement. You have to realize that all generators in their not self form, when they are not where they're not aligned, they're quitters. All generators are quitters.
Hmm.
So you have to tell them quit this and get this for success. You have to give them something to drop off and something else to pick up. And that's why I'm saying that the gate should be pretty, even if the road is hard, because that promise of the pretty gate is gonna, they have the energy. The energy for them is not a problem to go through obstacles and everything. The problem is that they tend to quit midway. They tend to quit at the first pebble. They trip over a tiny pebble and they tend to quit because, oh no, this is frustrating. I can't do this anymore. And it has to be seem like, oh no, this is just a pebble, this is just a pebble. We keep walking. The promise of the gate is still there. We're still getting there. This is a pebble. And that's how you get generators to move. Now you have the gate 14, the only gate that's highlighted on the sacral. So the only gate that it's your voice in selling to the sacral. It's in your Uranus, and it's on both sides, both conscious and unconscious. So it's also about who you are and also about what you do. And this is the transition from poverty to health, to wealth, from poverty to wealth. This is from rags to riches. This is all about how to be of service. And this is not about knowledge, this is about skilled interaction. This is about give and take. This is about listening in order to deliver. The gate on the other side that it wants to attract is the second, is the gate 2, which is the feminine. That's how it's called. It's a receptive feminine. So that is literally a gate that says it wants to be, fully seen, fully seen. So the other person that you will be attracting, especially through this gate, would want to be heard, seen. And the main question you should be asking is, how can I be of service? It's about the skill of the interaction. It's about the how the communication goes, not about what you know. Now, this is a broad overview of how you make money. Now, I'm going to go into your profile, and then I'm going to go into who you are defined and what you can offer, actually. This is how you attract them. This is how you pull them in. And then I'm going to get into what you actually can offer them. Now, starting from your profile, you are a 2-4. Your fourth line is on the design side. So this happens for you spontaneously. The fourth line is the opportunist. The opportunist will never find a job in a newspaper. They will never find a partner on dating sites. They will never find things, they will never meet a stranger in their life, quite honestly. I'm a fourth liner too. And let's say you and me met right now. We're supposedly strangers. We're not actually, because we both know Lorraine, right? So somebody knows someone who will introduce you to someone. That's how you get work opportunities. That's how you get relationships. That's how you get everything in life. And what's paradoxical about this fourth line is the fact that we might get things in the weirdest way possible. I will give you an example just how weird the fourth line works. I've been wanting the dreadlocks that I have right now for over a year, but they at the salon they're extremely expensive. It's like 500 euros to put them in.
Wow.
Because it's a very long work. And I went on the bus with fake locks that I braided in myself. And I met a Nigerian woman on the bus who complimented my hair. And I told her, I complained to her that I'm doing it myself and how hard it is. And she told me, oh, but I do hair. How much do you charge? 60 euros. Can I come to you? So for us, getting what we want, that it does not work like for normal people. It does not work. I go to the salon and I get the service met. It goes, I know someone who knows someone. That lady was a student like my sister. I met her in the bus station with other students because I was with my sister. So for us, it always comes, there's somebody with us that helps us bridge a gap, that helps us create a bridge, and through that bridge we get exactly what we need. We probably if I was to say I'm going to save money and get the locks at the salon, I would still be raising those money to get the locks at the salon. Whereas if I trusted my fourth line and I was open about what I need, I got them in about 2 months, you know. Well, randomly. I got them completely randomly. I wasn't expecting to get them. But that's how the fourth line works. The fourth line, it's very weird to know that every single aspect of us, every single thing that we do can take us to somewhere completely unexpected. I had friends who had the fourth line who went at the party in the woods, at the rave party, and they found a job at the rave party. Because that's how we work. We communicate something with someone, and it helps us. If I tell you how I reached Singapore, it's absolutely crazy, considering especially that you want to travel, and I'm also a fourth liner, so I can explain this. I have no advertising in Singapore. I've never talked with anyone. I've never posted on any Singaporean group. But I had a client that lives in the US, and she was one of my coaching clients. So I had her long term for over 7 months. She's Singaporean, but she lives in the States. And one time she went back to Singapore to visit her family, and she told her best friend about me because we were in the process of coaching. We were in the middle of coaching. Her best friend booked a reading with me, and from there on, I got recommended through recommendations to recommendations, and I have almost monthly a client from that area. And it became a tree. Everybody recommended to somebody else. That's how the fourth line works. You can't expect where it's going to take you. You have to trust that it is. You have to trust that if you do your best job with every client, with every customer, that person knows somebody that knows somebody, knows and knows and knows and knows, a friend of a friend. That's how it works. That will get you to what you want. You only have to be clear about what you want, and the network will somehow figure it out.
That's great to know.
You you want to travel, you want to get to China, you just have to know that by doing public speaking and speaking about this with whomever comes to network with you after the speech. Oh, I wish I could go to China. I wish I could go to speak somewhere else. I wish I could go to speak to these people. They will hear you, and somebody will go, wait, I know a guy who organizes this in China. Let me give you his number. That's how it will go. It won't go by you chasing it. It will go by you doing your job to the best of your abilities and talking openly about what you want.
Got it. Got it.
And the second line, which is your personality, is the hermit. Now, because it's in your personality and because it's conscious, it's not that big of a problem that is the hermit, but the hermit is obsessed with their hobby. Okay, with whether it is studying, whether it is painting, whether it is whatever. But the hermit usually doesn't want to show off. All right, to give you an example of a hermit that didn't show off and it was not beneficial for him is Van Gogh. Van Gogh was a second liner. He's a super talented painter, but he kept all his paintings in his workshop. And until his brother came in and saw, oh my God, how many you have? Oh my God, how beautiful they are. We can actually make money with this. He was not interested in sharing them with the world. The second line always has an intrinsic talent that they're not really interested in showing it off. If somebody sees it, then yeah, sure, you can use it. Can I sell it? Can I use this? Yeah, sure. For you, it's so easy, whatever it is that you're doing, it's so natural. For example, you say you're a public speaker. Do you know that 80% of the world answered to the question, if they were to talk in public or die, they would rather die. While for you, probably it's Wednesday. It's nothing special. I go there and I speak. What's the big deal about it? I know
Yeah,
because
so
I'm the same. I can do public speaking. I can go on stage completely unprepared, like I don't have papers, I don't have my speech scanned. I know the subject, and at most I have 4 or 5 ideas that I know that I have to reach. Everything else comes in the point of speaking. And people can't understand this. My mom, for example, takes anti-anxiety medicines. She's a public speaker as well, but she takes anti-anxiety medications before every speech, and she goes with it completely printed and she reads it off a paper. That's how most people do it. So you might be discrediting how easy it is to do something that most people find it as extremely hard. They would rather die than do what you're doing. This is typical of the second line. And also what's typical of the second line is, as it says in the name, the hermit, they don't really like people. You have a tendency, it's not bad, it's just what it is. You have a tendency to seclude. The hermit has a tendency to keep themselves sort of apart. You're part of the group because you have a fourth line, you like networking, but there's a sense in you, I'm not like you guys. I do things differently than you guys. It's not verbal, you might not say it, but you will sense it. And when in that group, you are functional, you are interacting, but the truth is, you can't wait to get home. You can't wait to get home and study and do your things. You might be fully comfortable on the stage doing the public speaking because it already sets you apart. But when it comes to the point after the stage, the point of the networking, you engage because that's where the fourth line is. But inside, you kind of feel like, oh, I can't wait to get home.
so right.
And also, you have the what's the most powerful part is the fact that you have, now I'm talking exactly of who you are. You have the 4323 here. All right, that's defining your ajna and your throat. This is what you're here to speak. Now, the 4323, it talks constantly in I know, you know, you know, you know. You might even, when you do public speaking, you might end the sentences in you know, or I know that blah, 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 and continue the sentence. This
Mm,
is the gate of knowing. And now, what's interesting about this specific gate is that it's called genius to freak, as you can see here. It's a design of individuality and is genius to freak. Why is it called genius to freak? Because some people will perceive you as the genius and some people will perceive you as the freak. And it has nothing to do with you. You know and say the same thing, and some people will perceive it like, oh my God, that is genius. Oh my God, that's something that I actually needed to hear. And some people will perceive it as, I don't know, conspiracy theory, impossible, freak, weird. How can he say that? So you have to completely disengage with the fact that you're judged. It might push your wrong buttons because you have an open ego and you want to prove your worth, but you have to learn that this has nothing to do with you actually, and it sits in your purpose, all right? It's in your purpose to be stubborn. It's in your purpose to hold on to your truth, despite if some will see it as genius and some will see it as weird. It's in your purpose to be, is the one track mind. That's what it's called. It's the one track mind is the stubborn reliance on one's unique insight. This is specifically what you're here to do, to be persistent in your inner knowing, in your knowing. This, like I said, is a channel that says, I know, and what you know doesn't matter if they say it's weird or if they say it's genius. If you think it's weird, it's not for you. You can move on and go find someone else. Go find less. If this is too much for you, if this sounds weird for you, go find less. How do I change the...
Just to let you know, I need to go in 5 minutes. So
Yes, I'm gonna wrap it up with the other channels. I have only two more channels.
okay.
So the 3313 connects your identity center to the throat. So it's another thing that you're here to speak about. And this is in your nodes and specifically towards what you're moving, all right? So what you're moving towards. So this is about secrets. This is a channel of secrecy. Now, secrets are only valuable if they are kept. To give you an example of secrets that are only valuable when kept, the KFC 13 secret spices. It's freaking spices. They're probably cheap at the supermarket, under $1 each. If we knew the secrets, if we knew which are the 13, which is the exact combination, we could all do KFC at home. What's special about them is that they're secret. There's nothing special about them. It's not special spices. It's not like they made their own spices. It's that the combination is secret. And this is not exactly how you sell. This is what you offer. This is who you are. So one, people might tell you secrets that you can reveal or not reveal depending on, outcome, depending on how it benefits the situation. And second, all business, everything in the corporate world, in the capitalism, happens through secret meetings. Everything, all deals have a secret back door. Every business deal has a back door. Every bank contract has the fine print. Everything has the fine print. And now this is your ability to work with the fine print, to understand the fine print, to use the fine print to your advantage, not to be used by it. So you might even, one, be aware of it, which can help you, or two, use it in your own contracts. You can have a clause that uses that fine print. And the last one, which is a bit separate from the rest, and it deals with your authority as well. The authority I dealt less because I want to deal it now with the channel as well. This is the emotional wave that makes you your authority, that gives you your authority. Yes, your inner authority. Your inner authority is emotional, which means you have to wait for clarity. How to explain this better is imagine a snow globe. You know the snow globes.
Yep.
All right. When the snow globe is peaceful, you can see the figurine in the middle clearly. But when something happens, imagine something happening in your life, right? The whole thing gets agitated. That's your emotions getting hyped. And you can't see the middle figure clearly because it's filled of the snowflakes. You have to wait for the snowflakes to settle so you can see that point clearly. That's how you make decisions. Something gets told to you, and instead of going directly, yes and no, I do this, I don't do that, you have to play hard to get because you have to give yourself time to allow that clarity. So can we run by this tomorrow? Can I think about it? All of the ways in which you don't say yes or no. The benefit of this is that most people with emotional authority get better offers. So they apply for a job. To give you an example, they apply for a job. They say, can I think about it? The person who wants to employ them thinks that the wage is not good enough or something like that. And then they say, how you just say, can I think about it? And the other person goes on his whole mental spiral, which you had nothing to do with. Why wouldn't he say yes? Should I give him more money? Should I give him better accommodation? Should I give him something else? And then you go to say yes, but they come with another offer. Oh, we're going to increase this wage by 10%. We're going to do this and this. That's the benefit of the emotional center if they wait. If they give themselves the clarity, they usually get a better offer. Now, this channel is specifically the channel of discrimination. You have to discriminate who you work with and who you don't. This is about people. This is tribal energy. And this is, are you in what I'm working with, or are you out? If you're out, I don't have nothing to do with, it's done. If I'm in, you're in, and we are working together. Also, they're mostly in the fourth line, so it deals with your network. And also, I'm going to explain to you now how this emotional channel works, so you recognize it. You don't get emotional easily. I'm going to stop sharing because we're done with the chart anyway. So you don't get emotional easily. Somebody can, I don't know, be mean to you in traffic. It gets you emotional, but you won't do anything about it. You're going to suppress that emotion. Something else happens, somebody annoys you at the shop. You get annoyed, but you don't do anything about it. You suppress that. And it builds up, it fills a cup, all right, that was never expressed. And then somebody does something, the straw that breaks the camel's back, and then the whole glass of emotions that was built over time gets spilled on that person, gets spilled on that event, that gets spilled on that situation, even though it's completely disproportionate with the situation. You might even be something as stupid as you hurt your finger in the board of the bed, and you get a disproportionate anger about doing that, that it's not about hitting your leg, it's about everything you've been suppressing. Now, the easiest way to let go of this wave so you don't explode, because that's how I call it, like they explode at some point, they suppress, suppress, suppress until they explode. The easiest way to get rid of this wave and not explode is through smell and touch. So whether it is cooking, aromatherapy, massages, body work, gym, all of this stuff can help you let go of the emotion and get to clarity without having to explode. So when you get a proposition, you have to make a decision. The best thing for you is to go into, I'll think about it tomorrow, and either cook, go at the gym, or do something either that involves either the smell or the touch. So you get emotional clarity, so you can make that decision from clarity.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this has been so amazing. Like for me, it's like so much clarity about, so accurate, and so much clarity about my work, my business. This has been so wonderful, Daria.
I'm happy it helped you. I will send you the recording later. Probably for you will be tomorrow morning or very late
For
today,
sure.
because I will have to download it and upload it on Facebook, unlist it, and send you the link.
For sure. Thank you very much. Mulțumesc.
You're welcome. And if you have any questions, you can message me on WhatsApp and I will answer the questions.
For sure, for sure. Bună dimineața, and yeah, mulțumesc. Thanks very much for everything.
Cu plăcere. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.